You are sitting with a group of people. You wait for the right moment. You finally start speaking. And before you even finish your first sentence, someone talks over you. Not loudly. Not aggressively. Just casually. Like your words were easy to step on. So you try again. This time, you speak a little faster. You explain more. You smile a little too much. You add, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but... And slowly, without anyone saying it directly, the room starts treating your voice like it matters less. That feeling is painful. Because you are not trying to control anyone. You are not trying to prove you are better. You just want people to listen. Without making you fight for basic respect. And the confusing part is this. Sometimes another person says almost the same thing you said, but with fewer words, slower energy, and a calmer tone. And suddenly, everyone pays attention. That moment can make you question yourself. Maybe I'm not confident enough. Maybe I'm not interesting enough. Maybe people just don't respect me. But the truth is deeper than that. People often do not lose respect for you because of what you know. They lose respect because of the way your communication teaches them how much weight your words should carry. And most people never notice when they are accidentally training others to interrupt them, dismiss them, or underestimate them. This is not about becoming loud. It is not about becoming arrogant. It is about understanding the quiet signals that make people take you seriously before you even finish your sentence. And once that pattern starts, you can feel it in your body. You speak, but part of you is already checking whether people are listening. You look at their faces. You notice who looks away. You notice who reaches for their phone. You notice when someone gives you that small polite smile. That does not really mean they heard you. And then your mind starts working harder. You try to make the point better. You add more details. You explain the background. You soften your opinion. So nobody thinks you are being too much. But inside, you feel smaller with every sentence. This is the part nobody sees. They only hear the words. They do not feel the pressure in your chest. They do not feel how carefully you are trying. Not to sound awkward. Not to sound rude. Not to take up too much space. And that is why it hurts. Because you are not lacking thoughts. You are not lacking intelligence. You are not lacking value. You are just trying to speak, while also protecting yourself from being judged. That split attention changes everything. When you are half expressing yourself and half monitoring yourself, your presence becomes less steady. People may not understand why, but they feel the uncertainty. Here is the mini reframe. The problem is not that you are bad at communication. The problem is that you are communicating while bracing for rejection. So the first small takeaway is simple. Before you speak, do not rush to prove yourself. Let your body arrive first. One quiet breath. One steady pause. Then begin. Because respect often changes the moment your words stop asking for permission to exist. And in the next part, you will see the invisible mistake that makes people lose respect without you even realizing you are doing it. The invisible mistake is not that you speak too little, and it is not always that you speak too much. It is that you start negotiating with your own words. You say something, then immediately weaken it. You give an opinion, then quickly explain why it might not be perfect. You make a point, then fill the silence, because silence feels like danger. So instead of letting the sentence stand, you keep adding cushions around it. Maybe. I guess. I could be wrong. Does that make sense? I don't know if this matters, but... And none of these phrases are bad by themselves. Sometimes they are kind. Sometimes they are thoughtful. But when they come from fear, people feel the difference. They may not think, this person lacks confidence. But their brain receives a social signal. This person is unsure whether their own words deserve space. That is where thin slicing comes in. People make quick judgments from small cues. Your pace, your tone, your eye contact, how fast you retreat after speaking, how quickly you laugh when nobody else reacts. And the painful part is, they often respond to the signal before they understand the message. So the mistake is not being sensitive. The mistake is letting your sensitivity take control of your delivery. Here is the mini reframe. You do not need to become colder. You need to become clearer. A practical shift is this. Say the point once. Then stop. Let the silence carry the weight. Instead of rushing to rescue everyone from it. Because socially confident people do not always have better thoughts. They simply do not abandon their thoughts the moment the room gets quiet. And once you understand why calm delivery changes respect, you start seeing conversations in a completely different way. Because respect is not only about volume, it is about regulation. People respond differently when your nervous system looks steady. Not perfect, not fearless, steady. There is a concept in psychology called emotional regulation. It means your ability to stay connected to yourself, even when something feels uncomfortable. And in conversation, people feel that regulation through tiny details. You pause without panicking. You answer without rushing. You hold your tone. Even when someone challenges you, you do not immediately shrink just because the room gets uncertain. This matters because people often borrow emotional cues from the person speaking. If you sound like your own words are unstable, they treat the message as unstable. If you sound calm, they are more likely to feel that your point has weight. This is not manipulation. It is human perception. Think about the person in a meeting who does not speak every minute, but when they do, the room settles. They are not forcing respect. They are signaling certainty. And certainty does not mean you believe you are always right. It means you are not terrified of being seen while you think. Here is the mini reframe. Confidence is not the absence of nervousness. Confidence is the ability to stop handing your nervousness the microphone. So the practical takeaway is this. When you feel yourself speeding up, do not push harder. Slow down by 10%. Lower the urgency in your voice. Let your sentence land before you explain the next one. Because people do not only listen to what you say, they listen to the relationship you seem to have with yourself while you are saying it. And that is where the real shift begins. The real shift begins when you stop trying to sound respected and start communicating like your words already have a place. Here is a simple trick. Use the pause method. Pause before you speak. Say the point clearly. Pause after the point. That is it. Not because silence is dramatic, but because silence tells people you are not afraid of your own sentence. Most people do the opposite. They rush into the point, soften it while saying it, then explain it again, because they are scared it did not land. But the more they explain from fear, the more their authority leaks out. There is a psychology concept here called cognitive load. When you give people too many words at once, their brain has to work harder to find the main point. And when your nervousness adds speed, filler, and extra explanations, your message can start to feel heavier than it actually is. So make it easier to respect you. Say less, but mean it more. Instead of, I don't know, maybe this is not important, but I just think we could possibly try another way. Say, I think there is a better way to approach this. Then pause. Let your face stay calm. Let your tone stay steady. Let the room meet your point without you chasing approval. Here is the mini reframe. The goal is not to dominate the room. The goal is to stop shrinking inside it. Comment 1 if you explain too much, 2 if you speak too fast, or 3 if you soften your opinions before saying them. Because once you stop communicating from apology, people begin to feel something different in you. And in the final part, you will see how that quiet change starts changing the way people treat your presence. And it starts in small moments. You are in a conversation, and someone interrupts you. This time, you do not panic. You do not rush. You do not disappear. You simply pause, look back calmly, and finish your sentence. Not with anger, not with force, with steadiness. And people feel that. They feel that you are no longer asking whether you are allowed to speak. You are just speaking. This is where impression formation matters. People build an image of you through repeated small signals. How you enter a conversation, how you handle silence, how you respond when challenged, how quickly you abandon yourself when the room gets uncomfortable. So when you become clearer, slower, and less apologetic, you are not just changing your words, you are changing the pattern people use to understand you. The mini reframe is this. Respect is not something you beg for. After people overlook you, It is something you quietly signal before they decide how to treat you. So the next time you speak, do not try to perform confidence. Practice staying with yourself. Say the point. Hold the pause. Let your voice remain calm, even if your heart is moving fast. Because the goal is not to become someone else. The goal is to stop hiding the strongest parts of who you already are. And when your communication stops sounding like an apology, people begin to listen differently. Comment the number you relate to most. 1. I get interrupted often. 2. I explain too much. 3. I speak too fast when nervous. 4. I want to sound more confident. And if you want to build calm confidence, clear communication, and quiet authority, subscribe for more videos like this.